Hi guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to episode 76 of the First Star Challenge with Everton, and today it is a summer transfer special. We are going to build a team. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. We're building a team that is going to win the Premier League and the Champions League next year. There's just no doubt about that. That is what is happening today. You can see the end of season awards has just happened. We haven't missed anything. We've come straight back. Let's have a quick look at our squad as it stands. I know people like to sort of have a look at how the last season went as well. You can see in appearances here, Lafont, I think, played every game except the Champions League final because the friggin' French called him up. But anyway, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. Anyway, so he's 51 appearances. You can see there, Stark, Vlasic, Taimon played a lot of games last year. Rafinha, Witsel, whose contract is up and will be leaving us. Tar, again, another of our centre defenders. Bernard played a bit. Kenny, Luis Felipe, Milo and Kenny almost exactly split that role, which is interesting, because I wasn't intentionally trying to split it 50-50. Canete played games, Digne, Lookman played quite a few games as well. You can see scrolling down the list, down towards the bottom here, and this is sort of the area where we'd look especially to do the cull. Calvert-Lewin, I'm torn about this transfer window because he is a club-trained player, which is really helpful when it comes to registering European squads. But yeah, I'm not completely convinced. He didn't play that much. I don't know what to do with Calvert-Lewin. Goals. This is where the problem is, isn't it? What we did do well is we had a lot of players sort of scoring around about 10 goals. What's that? 6 or 7 of them. What we didn't do well is have 1 or 2 really kick on and get into the 20s. Selke top scored along with Rafinha with 11. Vlasic, Carlson, Terry Cook did okay, 1 in 2-ish. Bernard, Lookman, Bouvier, 6 in 6 starts, which is really good for him. The Grandmeister will be back. He's out on loan right now. Canete, Gomez, Witsel got goals. Wilson got a few out on loan as well. This is all fine. The wingers and that getting, maybe we need our wingers scoring a few more. Sort of the way that we play, we rely on them to get goals. But it's sort of the headlined act, isn't it? 11 from 19 starts, 10 appearances. I don't know. It wasn't enough. We didn't score enough goals. That's what it comes down to. I think our defence is absolutely, I think it's the best defence in Europe. I think where we let ourselves down was goals. Look at these assists as well. Taimon, Vlasic and Bernard all with 10. Rafinha with 9. Canete, Kenny as well with assists. Davies, Milo, Digne, Lookman, sort of getting down a little bit. You maybe want a little bit more from Digne and Lookman for the games they played. Milo perhaps as well, considering what Kenny did. But yeah, we don't need, what I don't want to do, I say no one's safe, what I don't want to do is completely look to overhaul the squad and then find ourselves having a slow start because we have all these new players. If we look at the match ratings, Bouvier didn't play that many games, but boy oh boy, when he played, did he play well. Vlasic was an absolute beast last year, another one that we missed in the Champions League final, I think. I'm not going to go on about it, but it's really disappointing, isn't it? Taimon, Rafinha, look at all these guys, all in the 7-3s, all the way down. We get down to sort of Tom Davies, Stuart Taylor, Lafont, Dramé did well when he played, didn't play that many, and you can see there. And if we go down to the disappointments, I do think that Zamora was a little bit of a disappointment. He's a very, very talented player, but he'll only improve for that season. Selke, I mean, there it is right there, the 6.86. Take away, the goals, yes, he did get a few, but he didn't play well, did he? And that's why he will be leaving us. We'll be transfer list. Let's do a ceremonial transfer listing of Davy Selke now, shall we? What do we want to sell him for? 60 million seems a bit ambitious now, doesn't it? We'll leave it unspecified. We'll just kind of see what comes. We'll list him as not needed. It's unfortunate. He's been a club legend, but his time has come, hasn't it? So we'll get him transfer listed. The other person, I'm wondering here, Stephen Fraser. He's a good player. He's rapid, but he's not good enough for us right now, is he? So let's transfer list him as well. Not needed. We won't. Unavailable for loan. Already have that. Yeah, we've got to be looking at we're after world-class players now, not decent young prospects that may or may not come off. So that's sort of how the squad shapes up. If we have a look, just as a quick reminder, there are a few transfers that are already done. The first is this young left-back from Belgium. Now, he's not coming in till the winter, so the January transfer window, so we won't have him for the first half of the year, but he will come in second half of the year. Really, really high potential. Might be behind my head there, but he's a 4.5, 5-star potential player, so that's really good. And, of course, we did sign Rainer Schiffers as an upgrade on Davy Selke. Now, is he the answer to all our goal-scoring problems? His finishing isn't great. Possibly not. But he is coming. He's a really, really good physical player. So I'm hoping he'll get a job done for us. If we do just quickly look at our strikers, if you go this way, Aaron Hampson is he's young, but he's still decent coming along. He's not someone we can rely on, but I think he will be good for us. Fraser, I've already said, I don't think he's quite going to make it. So we'll get rid of him, see if we can cash in on him. Terry Cook, I do believe Terry Cook's going to be a good player, good finishing, he's pacey, good off the ball, decent off the ball, good anticipation though, which is good. I do still believe that Trevoh could be the man that fires us to glory. 19 years old, of course he broke a leg or an ankle or something, didn't he? So he's missed a lot of last season. I do think he could be the answer to our prayers, but I'm not completely convinced as of yet. Calvert-Lewin, I mean, he's decent, but he's nothing but decent. What did I just say about not keeping players that aren't sort of cutting it for us? So we may need to look to put him on the chopping block. The Grandmeister I signed, he's rapid, he's young. He was cheap. He was only about 7-8 million, so we could sell him on. Alex just looks a poor signing, and I don't know the scouts rated him higher, I think, than our coaches do, and he doesn't look that great now that he's here. So we might even just look to cash in on him. Maybe we'll send him out on loan. We don't want to give up on him too soon. And that's kind of all of the strikers. Then the other person is Bernard. He's 30 now. He does play well for us, doesn't he? He still had a good year last year. He's wanted by Inter. Now, I'm wondering if we get a bid in for him around the 50 million mark as a 30-year-old on 140 grand a week, maybe we just cash in on him. But I'm not in a rush to get rid of him, but I just wonder if maybe we could do a little bit better. So that's where we're at. I would like to fix goal scoring. With Witsel leaving, I do wonder if we need somebody in there as Sanderberg's good. Where's Sanderberg here? Where are you, Mr. Berg? There he is there. He's good, and he's one of these players that plays better than his stats suggest. I wonder if he's not a first choice though, is he? He's very solid, but I just don't think he's first choice. So maybe we do need to get another DM in there. Zamora is good, but if we're going to play a number 6 sort of DM, I don't think he's good enough. If we're going to play someone in actual as a deep line playmaker further forward, then he's fine. But I just wonder, he's really good, isn't he? I just wonder a little bit, just an out and out DM. Sort of number 6. But anyway, that's where we're at. I'll come back when we have something to report. There should be a commercial summary coming up soon in the next day or two, so I'll come back for that. And here is the commercial summary. A new kit sponsor, 4-year deal worth 60 million. The previous deal was worth 7.5 million. Is that right? Am I reading that right? Now, is that per year, and that's over 4 years, so maybe it's not as massive an increase as it looks like, but 3 new deals worth 17.5 million a year. Sponsorship overall is up, 7 or 8 million or so, which is good. Corporate hospitality was down just ever so slightly, but that's fine, I think. Match day revenues were down or commercial and retail were down just a little bit. Broadcast revenues were up. Competition prize money was up. And of course, the merchandise, we sold just under 16 million with 7.25 of that being outside of the UK. We sold 770,000 shirts, give or take 12 shirts, and these are the popular names. Lafont, he's brilliant, wasn't he? Calvert-Lewin number 2. So that's another thing with selling Calvert-Lewin. I mean, I don't know how much money he makes in shirt sales individually. I don't think there's a way to find that out. But he's one of the boys, isn't he? He's an Everton boy. Davies, Canente, and Zamora are right up there as well. So that's good, that's sort of the more popular players. Excuse me. Surprised Terry Cook isn't there. Even Davy, Selke, Bernard, the guys that have been around for a little while and doing the job for us. The scouting budget is there. The youth audit is there as well. We'll have a quick look at the finances so you can see that as well. We have money to spend, 155 million. So I'm not necessarily going to be afraid to spend it this year. It's the wages that continually be the problem for us. We need a bigger stadium to get the bigger revenues. 50,000 seats is not enough. We might have a look at the board and see if we can increase that. But we have about 100 grand a week to spend, a little bit more. And if we sell someone like Selke, we get rid of Witzel's wages, that's going to add about another 300 grand a week onto the wages as well. Let's have a look and just see if we can get a new stadium here. Build a new stadium to achieve our ambitions. Be left behind by our rivals. Can't stress how important I believe this to be. The lack of ambition. I'm not going to put my job on the line, but yeah. They just do not want to build a new stadium for us, which is a little bit disappointing. Anyway, guys, when we have something to report on transfer front, we will return. Where am I going to find a goal scorer? I wonder how old Messi is now. Hello. Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe, how you doing, mate? Good, mate. Good. Where are you these days? Huddersfield. Mate, where did it all go wrong for you? Unbelievable. Terry Cook, 32.5 mil. No, not happening. Yeah, no, sorry, mate. Actually, I'm going to have to let you go here. I'm getting another call. Yeah, see you, mate. Hello. Pep Guardiola. Long time, mate. How you doing? Yeah, mate, I'm good. Where are you managing these days? Arsenal? What the hell are you doing there? Yeah, okay, sure, mate. How can I help you? Terry Cook, 36 mil. He is a very popular man today. Oh, no, nothing, mate. I just had Eddie Howe on the line asking about his availability. Yeah, I know. Arsenal chasing the same players as Huddersfield. Some things never change, right? Yeah. Oh, no. There's no deal. No, it's not for sale. Alright, we do have breaking transfer news, and that is a new signing. We have signed a replacement, or the replacement for what's his name, Axel Witsel. It's Eder Milito from Manchester United. £70 million we're paying for him. 115 grand a week, so it's actually a little bit less than what Witsel was on. But this is a very, very good replacement. He can play in defence, which could be useful, and I'll get to that in just a second. But more importantly, he can play in this number 6 role. Segundo Volante, deep line playmaker, halfback anchor. He can play pretty much any of the roles we would want to use there. I think he'll do really, really well for us. 25-year-old Brazilian, so he's a good age as well. Decent leadership, good. I mean, just a good, solid all-round player. He could play down at right wing if we really needed a right wing back, I should say, right fullback if we really needed him to as well. So almost a utility option as well. So a really, really good signing. I'm happy to have him. Brazilian international. So welcome, Eder Milito. Now, we've had some problems. What we can't do is we can't seem to get Davy Selke out the door. It's the wages that seem to be the problem. He's rejected a number of contracts from a number of clubs. So we're lessening what we're asking for him just to try and get him out the door. We're going to have to accept some form of paying his wages on as well. But the big problem that we have is Tar. Tar has handed in a transfer request. We have sort of the Pickford problem where he's lost faith in me. The problem that we had is that he wanted a new contract. I was willing to offer it to him, but when I went there, we didn't have the wages, basically. It's the age-old problem we have with Everton of the wages. So what I did is I just sort of walked away from the contract because I could offer him £170 a week. Like I just didn't have, so I was going to adjust the budget to transfer thing, and it went, and he got the shits with me basically because I pulled out of the contract. So he's unhappy that the thing hasn't the problem promised of a new contract wasn't kept. And so now we have this problem. So that's really, really annoying. As I said, it's the old Davy Selke conundrum, not Davy Selke conundrum, the Everton conundrum of just not having the wages. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do this. Stark is annoyed. He wants to go to Paris as well. Is that in here? Where are we here? Stark. Yeah, disappointed, not able to join Paris. So again, we might have a problem with him, but this is just internal. We didn't make a promise. I kind of like, hey, look, we made the Champions League final. You know, we did better than Paris, but yeah. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. So we might our two sort of star centre backs last season. They're both unhappy with us, which isn't ideal in any way, shape, or form. So this transfer window is not going to plan so far. We can't get Selke out the door. We've pissed off our two main central defenders. It's not all bad news. We have got some new players on better long-term contracts. The first off here, it is... I can't find anybody like this. Let's do this. Josh Taimon has signed a new deal, 5-year deal for him, 24-year-old Englishman. That's really, really good. 86 grand a week he's on now. A lot of money, but he's a good, solid, he's English. So all that is in his favour. The next contract that we have had signed is Stuart Taylor. He is now listed as a key player because Arsenal, as you just heard, came in. No, it was Terry Cook. Arsenal came in for Stuart Taylor as well. And he was annoyed that I didn't let him go because he wasn't considered a key player. So I kind of said, all right, he's on 40 grand a week. And as it turns out, he might well need to be a key player because we have had some issues with our other defenders. But he's one of our four main guys, so I'm okay with that. And 40 grand a week, it's still really nothing, isn't it? So we're happy to keep him. And Canente is the other one. Canente is going to be a big player for us. So he's now a key player. He's here on another 5-year deal as well. 140 grand a week for him. that's kind of where a lot of our wages went, was in those 3 contracts. Not so much Cook, but Canente was it was more than double your money. So that's where we're at. We just need to wait for Witzel's contract to expire. That's going to free up 125 grand a week. And then we'll see where we go from there. Ideally, we need to get Selke out. We haven't really had offers for any. We've a couple of minor sales that have gone out as well. I'll just quickly update you on those. Joe Anderson, one of our backup left backs, has gone 235 grand off to Leeds. He's decent, but he was not what we need. And this guy here, who we've been toying with for a while, he's gone off to St Johnstone in Scotland for just under 100 grand. So we've bought in 325,000. We've spent 70 million. We need to, there's still work to be done. Okay, we have a new signing officially joining us, Rainer Schiffers. Hypothetically, this is the Davy Selke replacement. I know I've signed another prospect, but as you've seen, it's wages that kill us every time. I think 180 grand a week is the most we can do in wages. And when it comes to signing, the top of the line, like Marco Asensio was up for sale. We could have bought him. He wanted 300 grand a week in wages. Harry Kane, we could maybe get him, but he wants 200 grand a week in wages. We can't afford it. And you see with Davy, I know I'm complaining a lot here, but we can't get rid of Davy Selke. We had to pay him big wages to keep him there. Well, we've outgrown him. We're kind of stuck with him. But anyway, let's not worry about that. It's Rainer Schiffers. He's really, really good physically. Mentally, he's pretty good already as well. Composure could do a little bit of work, but that will come. He's only young. He's only 19. It's the finishing. It's the technicals where he lacks a little bit, but again, he's young. That should come. We're only paying him 55 grand a week. He'll want more than that eventually. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Tar has signed a new contract, which means he's happy. It means he's here for Did he sign a new contract? I thought he signed a new contract. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, did we not just sign him? Anyway, I'm pretty sure he signed a new contract, and if not, he will at some point. There's sort of this bug in the game where I've broken promises. Let's not go into that again. But I've offered him a contract, so technically I've kept the promise, but he's upset that I've broken a promise that I've then kept. So I don't know. Anyway, I believe he signed a new contract. It just isn't showing up there yet. So hopefully that'll show up and he's here for another 5 years. The other impending problem, of course, is Stark. We had an offer for Manchester United. He wants to go to Paris. He doesn't want to go to Manchester United. So we've had this problem with him before, and we'll just keep rejecting the offers and hope that he comes around. He is 28. So, I mean, he's in his prime now. I don't think we're quite ready to sell him on yet, but, he's 3-star. Maybe we could do better. Maybe I need to have a look at that, see if we can do a little bit better than Nick Stark. Anyway, the reason for coming back is Schiffers has officially signed. Let's just keep seeing what's available to us. Alright, we have a signing to announce. A 20-year-old, you can see already, the fans like him. This guy could be really, really good for us. 14.75 million from SEP. It really annoys me that the clubs doesn't do this to them. It's Palmeiras in Brazil. Luis Gustavo, our new backup left back. He can play on the right back as well. He can play with either foot. He's as good now as Lucas Digne is, but potentially, obviously, a lot better. Very, very pacey, decent enough mentally for a 20-year-old. Technically, very fine as well. So there we go. Now, this does obviously 38 grand a week as well. This does obviously mean the end for Digne, doesn't it? We have been trying to get him out the door. The best offer that we've had so far is a loan offer from Inter with a mandatory fee. You can see we're trying to do a lot. We're trying to hang on to Tar. But I was talking about Digne, wasn't I? Here are the offers here. This is the one that we're trying to get across the line. £300 a month, £300,000 a month, yeah. All his wages paid with an optional future fee of 47.5 million. And if that doesn't go through, really, we've postponed it for a year and we'll just get rid of him next year. His contract still has a few years to run. So I'm hoping this will go through. And if not, then we'll keep trying to sell him. But that's what I want to do. But Lucas Digne's time at the club has come to an end because we need to get these wages down, basically. All right, we have a departure to announce. It is Lucas Digne. He is leaving us for the year on loan. It's not permanent. There is an optional fee there for $47.5 million. I tell you what, I would snap that up to get that for a 30-year-old fullback. That's a very Italian thing to do, wouldn't it, to buy a 30-year-old fullback? But let's hope it goes through. We've got 95 grand off the wage bill, which is good. £300,000 a week. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He is good. But I think what we have is as good, or maybe not as quite as good now, but definitely better for the future. And we have Taimon, who is just as good now. Taimon is just as good. Taimon is better, I think, personally. I think there's a way to tell, isn't there? We can do a comparison. Is he going to be there still, or is he not there? Digne. So Green is Taimon. Taimon is better. So I think we've done well there. I think we've got 95 grand out. We have our better first choice guy there, and we have a backup who's almost as good and will be better. Well, it's a sad day, but it's a day that I think we all saw coming. The real disappointing thing is we didn't get much money for him. But Davy Selke has left the club. Its initial fee of 12.25, rising up to 17.75. We're paying about 40 grand a week of his wages still. As it turned out, that was the best deal that was able to come in. He was rejecting offers from Premier League clubs. I don't know why. Maybe he just wanted to go back to Germany, which is fair enough. But an Everton legend, I think, has departed the club. He didn't actually score as many league goals as I would have thought, but he would have got at least 50 there, it looks like. But I think where he really shone was in Europe, wasn't it? Particularly, was it this year? He got 5 goals in Europe. And this year he only got 3 that year. Was it this year he had his big year? This is his big year in Europe. 10 goals in 10 starts. That was absolutely phenomenal. And last year we know he was a little bit of a disappointment. So it's happened. He's left the club. All hail Lord Davy Selke, but we have lost our German hero. It is a fire sale at Everton. Calvert-Lewin is the big name departure, 23.5 million with an extra 6.5 tacked on. So nice money there. Potentially fee of a 20% of a profit of the next fee. I don't think that's going to happen, but he's off to Middlesbrough. So we've got, I think he was on about 50 grand a week. So that's gone off the wages, which is good. Over 20% of that has gone to Sheffield United. But he is far from the only departure that we've seen. Let's go to transfer history here, and you will see where do we leave off here? Stephen Fraser has also left. This is that young Scottish kid we signed. He's gone off to Moscow. You can see it's 3.5 up front, potentially 10.75. A lot of that is it's games, it's goals, it's games for Scotland. It's things that he should get. So yeah, I mean, he wasn't really ever going to make it, was it? We signed him for 51,000. We've sold him for at least 3.5 million. It'll rise up from there, though. I mean, it's worked out okay for us, hasn't it? It's given us a little bit of money in the bank. So yeah, I mean, that's all fine. If we look at what this is all doing for the finances, it's all starting to help. You can see our wages are down pretty much to where we started off this summer, I think. There's a bit of a spike there. But we're sort of essentially raised. I think we were about 2.6 million when we started. So you can see I've increased it. The transfer budget's good because we get to keep 100% of what we sell. So we're getting there. We've raised 42.5 million. We've spent 85 million. The 70 million for Melito was a transfer record as well. So it's a lot of money. I do spend money on defenders when I said I was going to sign goal scorers, didn't I? But there we go. Oh, the other loan we've done is Bobby Carroll. He's too old now to be able to play. He has to be registered in the Premier League squad. So we've sent him out to one of our feeder clubs in Germany. If he plays, he plays. If not, to be honest, we'll just try and sell him. You can see I have him transfer listed. The assistant manager or director of football, someone suggested we send him to Karlsruhe and just let him play there. So we'll do that and see what happens, but I don't think he's going to make it for us now. And that's kind of where we're at. Am I looking to sign players? I mean, yes, obviously I am. It's the wages. It's the wages that kill us. I've signed a big name German, Schweinsteiger. Not that one, Michael Schweinsteiger. We've signed 57 million from Stuttgart, £225,000 a week he is on. But let's have a look at our new man. I think this could be our man. Look at this. He's pacey. Good dribbling, good finishing, good off the ball movement, good composure, good technique. Let me know what you think in the comments, but this could be our man. this could be our man to lead the line, run onto through balls from Vlasic and crosses and everything. Oh, it could be magnificent. He's got good heading, although he can't really jump. The strength is fine. It's just he doesn't jump. But yeah, I think this could be our man. Now, what I'm thinking of doing now is potentially maybe looking to loan out Trevoh or Schiefers, one of our new younger strikers. Well, this guy's just as young, but loan him out for a fee. Because what has happened, there has been a few outs since I was last with you, all of them on loan, except for one. Bernardoni, we did sell. I only got 800, just under $1 million for him. To be honest, I just wanted to get the wages off the books. We have good young goalkeepers. I'll show you why we did this in a second. Wasn't too concerned about the transfer fee. It was more getting 20 grand a week off the wages. Now, loan fees. The Grand Meister has gone out on loan, 100 grand a week, full wages paid. Cody Dramé, one of our backup right backs, has gone out on loan. Again, full wages paid, £165,000 a month, sorry, not a week. And then Alex, the striker that I keep wondering why I've signed. Now we know why. I've sent him out on loan. Wages paid, £250,000 a month. So we're getting near and just over £500,000 a month. Or just on these loan fees here, so work that out. That's going to be about $5 million for the year and wages paid. So I'm wondering with Trevoh, it's basically it's transfer deadline day. So I'm wondering with Trevoh, do we just look to get him out on a similar sort of deal on loan? We might do that and see if he can. I still think he's a good player. I just don't know, or do we send? No, because Schiefers is probably the better option of the two because he's good in the air as well. Anyway. Leave that with me. It's deadline day. There's still some things to be done here, but Schweinsteiger, we have a new striker. So the transfer window has closed. We weren't able to get anything across the line. They're the three big ones. As I said earlier on, Marco Asensio, we did try, but look at those wages. We couldn't do that, which was really, really disappointing. He would have been a nice little addition to the squad. Sessegnon went for big money. I never really think he's worth it. He's not really a good enough defender, and he's not really a good enough attacker. I personally wouldn't spend that money on him, but Manchester City did, and Chelsea spent money on Guedes, however you pronounce that, a winger as well. Again, lots of money. I mean, I spent 70 million on a defender, so what do I know? We did have a transfer set up, ready to go for Uptomenko, however you pronounce that guy's name. I think it was Tar or Stark. I think we actually tied this transfer to Stark. But if one of those had gone, this was the guy we were going to get in to replace them. He would have been on bigger money again, so it would have been more wages. But in the end, Stark and Tar have both stayed. Let's have a quick look now at the squad that is going to represent Arsenal. Arsenal? Where did that come from? It was going to represent Everton in the Premier League this season. So Schweinsteiger, as we just saw, is our first choice striker. Schiefers, as we just saw, he's up there as well. Terry Cook, as well as Trevoh. We have four really, really good striking options. Good striking options, good potential striking options. We couldn't get Trevoh out on loan. You can see he's wanted now. It's a little bit too late for that, though. Maybe if a European club comes in. We do, of course, have Aaron Hampson as well, a youngster who will develop into a really good striker. Wingers, I did try to get Bernard out the club because his contract's up at the end of this year, and I don't think we're going to renew him. So you can see his status is set for not needed right now. We'll fix that up now that the window's closed and he's staying. But he still does a good job for us. He's just not quite 140 grand a week worth of player anymore. Richarlison as well, obviously. He is still in his prime, 26 years old and very, very good. Lookman, he just continues to look good every time he plays for us. We need to use him even more, I think, this year than we did last year. He's still around, along, obviously, Schweinsteiger could play out here, and as could Gomez. And the other one who could play out here as well, actually, is Gabe. We've been giving him some games in pre-season. He's looked okay without being spectacular. He's looked okay, so there's another good option for us there as well. On the right, all the same people, as well as Rafinha, who is just an absolute beast. I almost think our first choice wingers to start the year will be Rafinha on the right and Richarlison on the left. In the middle, we know we have Vlasic. He's absolute quality, as well as Sergio Gomez. Both these guys can play a little bit deeper as well. Bouvier, of course, who can play on the right side of the right wing as well. Actually, forgot him, but he's another option over there. And Toby Berg can play up here. He's not really going to do that, though. Deeper in midfield, we have good options. Canente, an absolute worldie of a player. Sergio Gomez, as I say, can play back here. Sander Berg, a good defensive option, coming close-up games for us against the lesser teams, be the deep line playmaker. And Haley as well, or Haley, however you want to pronounce this. good, solid player. Not someone that is going to start regularly, but as a club-trained player, I think someone we do need to keep around and try and get him up to his potential here. Maybe another star on the end of that. Other players in midfield, Zamora, absolute class again. Tom Davies, once again, he's just coming back from an injury, which is why it looks like his attributes are declining. But I think between Zamora, Davies, and Canente, we have three really, really good centre midfield options. And this is to see Milito could play back play further forward. There as well. Centre backs, Tar did stay. Is he going to be happy? I don't know. But if he plays well, he's a really, really good centre back, and we're lucky to have him. Luis Felipe is still here as well. Let's not forget about him. Couple of youngster options here, Sean Lunt and Luis Gustavo can play centre-back, but he's not really going to do it. The other three main ones, Ida Milento, as I said, can play back in centre-back. Nick Stark, I accepted a bid from AC Milan, but he rejected contracts, and Stuart Taylor is the other one. We have really, really good central defensive options. Only two out-and-out left fullbacks, Josh Taimon, and as I just showed you, Luis Gustavo. And then right side options, we have some good ones. We have Lorik Milo. We have, as you just saw, Eda Milento, who can play over here, and also Kenny, who's a very good player for us as well. And to say, Gustavo can play over there. Goalkeeping, it is Lafont. He's just our man, isn't he? He is a really, really good goalkeeper. Two youngsters, Michael Stevens, coming along nicely, potentially a very good goalkeeper himself. So he'll provide backup along with Willoughby, another club-trained player, good option. See current ability, both 2 stars, or just under 2 stars. So they're basically a star less than what Bernardoni was, but these guys are club-trained players. They'll do a lot better long-term, and also they're under 21, so they won't take up a squad registration spot. So there it is. It's a little bit underwhelming, I will admit that. Hopefully Schweinsteiger sort of tips the balance into a good transfer window as opposed to a very poor one. I don't think it was great though. It's the same old story, isn't it? It's just wages. We can't get rid of the players that are on big wages, and we can't offer the big wages. I mean, Schweinsteiger, if this still doesn't work out, it will cripple us. It will absolutely cripple us. I'm really hopeful, though. We beat out Real Madrid. We beat out a lot of other Premier League clubs to his signature. So he's driven. I'm really, really hopeful that he works out. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Not tomorrow. We'll be back next time to start our Premier League season. We need to get off to a better start than we did last year, just in case Liverpool are imperious again. But join me for that. If you have enjoyed this, make sure you hit thumbs up. If you're new, welcome. Subscribe and ring the bell if you want to know when I upload new episodes. But until next time, guys, I've been Aussie, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.